Hi, welcome back to my channel, The Unedited Couch. Today on the couch with me, I have Tabitha. And we're going to talk about all things speech impediment. Okay, Tab, so I want to take you back to a time when you were little. All right. Was there a significant moment or was there something that happened that you realized that you spoke differently to other children?
To be honest, no, not really. There was a couple of people coming up to me saying, "Oh, why do you sound more different to everyone else?" I'm like, "Oh, I haven't really noticed that unless you listen to your own voice recording, then you hear it."
Yeah.
But I never really gave a different about it.
Because you, to yourself, you had always sounded that way.
Yes.
Yeah, you hadn't sounded any different. Yeah. So, and then later on, you were told, as you got a little bit older, you were told by a specialist that, you know, you have a speech impediment. And did that sort of help you understand why you sounded a bit different, or?
It did. And at one time we actually, before we thought it was speech impairment, we actually thought it was an actual tongue tie where we didn't actually snip it. So we went to someone to see about that and they said, okay, we can't get a snip, but it's only going to make it worse for her.
Oh, wow.
So they were being honest for us and we just went with, no, we won't get a cut then.
Yeah, that was not, I think, yeah. Okay. Now, I could only imagine that going through primary school and high school, as we all know, high school is terrible for anybody. What were those years like with your peers? I can imagine there would have been teasing and bullying.
To be honest, yes and no. But because in a way emotional is different to how it transitions to the brain, you don't realize, like as some people don't.
Yep.
And it took someone to tell me that they're doing something wrong. Except for this one time where a kid in year 5, same year as me, came up to me and said, I forgot what it was, but it wasn't very nice. I felt on yelled at him saying it wasn't on.
Yep.
This is me.
Yeah.
You don't really know though when someone is really bullying you. Like another time at work, someone came up to me and saying, "Are you aware that someone is bullying you at work?" I'm like, no.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like I'm being bullied.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But I do have people around me to make sure I'm aware of it. Yep. And to take my back on it.
Yeah, have your back. That's right. And what are some of the things, like, do you find annoying, like when people correct you? Do you find that annoying?
Yes, it does, because as most people might think, it makes the person feel like they're dumb.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a little point, like when I'm talking to a stranger and they do it one time, I'm like, it's one time off. If it happens again, I will make sure not to do it.
Yeah.
And they don't usually at that point.
Yeah.
Which is good, unless it's someone who I work with. Like, going off track a little bit, there's one word that I rely on the most, and that is, pardon me, what, can you repeat that again? Like that.
Yeah.
And there's a thing around going with work with one of the manager, and someone will talk to him, he said, oh, what? And the person will repeat again, and he said, I heard you the first time.
Yeah.
So he knows that I'm what I am.
Yep.
He knows he would never do that to me.
Yeah.
But it gone to the point where someone did do it to me, and I told him straight up, mate, that's not on.
Yeah.
That's his thing. I do not like it happening to me. But I rely on that word.
Yeah, because you say that a lot. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I like, that's good. And it's good that you're able to, you know, stick up for yourself and say, look, hang on, look, that's not on. Is that sort of like a survival skill? Is that something you learnt over time, to stick up for yourself and just say, well, no, hey, hang on, don't treat me like that?
Well, yes and no, in the fact that when someone do say that, it puts it in my head saying, okay, they did not hear me the first time. I'm going to try and speak slowly, clearly as possible, and try it again. And if they say it the second time, I might have to reword it differently. It's what it is for me.
Yeah. So it's more effort on your behalf, isn't it, to try and sometimes get across what you think. Do you think it helps if people don't rush you, if people let you have your time to try and get your words out, what you feel? Is that
yes,
better?
when you're a lot younger, yes, that will be very helpful. But when the person starts getting older and older and start gaining their own speed, like at work when you're in drive-through, you have to have a constant speed.
Yeah.
You get used to it.
Yes. Yep. So you adapt and you learn. Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Okay. Yeah. So I'm guessing that because you got your HSC, you did really well in that, and you got a job. Were you nervous about your speech impediment when you got a job and to go out into the community, or were you feeling strong enough? Like, what did that add extra pressure?
Yes, it did, because you have to talk to complete strangers that do not know you.
Yeah.
But at work, I was grateful enough to have managers who understand me, someone to come across, and workmate actually as well to help me out when I needed it.
Yeah, that's great. Yep.
But for me, being in the workplace is the best place to work on your speed. Because, like we have said, you have to adapt to the situation.
Yeah. See, that's really good. Like, even though it was probably you're probably petrified, so scared, but the people around you created that support network, and you were able to basically face your fears, and it even helped you, like you said, and your brain's going constantly, all right, no, hang on, I have to reword that. This person didn't understand me. No, what words can I use so that they'll understand? So your brain is working like 10 times more than what ours would be, because you've got to quickly adapt to these things. And yeah, that's amazing. I never thought of it like that. I'd never seen it from that perspective at all. You're now 19. 20, yep.
I might look like younger
yeah,
than I am.
That's it. That's good. That's a good thing, looking younger, yep. Looking like what you know now and your confidence and with your job and dealing with the public, if you could say something to your 10-year-old self, what advice would you give that little girl? What advice would you give her, so that she can keep going?
Don't give up. If you have someone to talk to them, build up that skills in a way. Like, to be honest, I didn't have people to talk to. I only had closer friends to talk to. If you spread out a bit more, talk to more people, it'll be more helpful. And help people to know you, who, when it comes to word that you can't say, they know what you're trying to say, and point out to other people about it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it could be a little bit annoying, but if it's a friend who knows you, it'll be a little bit great to have them point it out.
Yeah. And you would tell her to keep going and don't give up.
Yes.
Yeah. Like you have. And I mean, I've watched you grow over the years, and you have become so strong. And the thing I love about it too is you've never let it hold you back. Like, you have achieved so many things already in 20 years. And your mum was one of your biggest supporters. Like, I seen...
She still is to this very day.
Yes, that's very true.
Mom, how can I spell this?
Yeah. And so your mum used to take you and your brother down to Sydney, and was it Royal Far West? Yeah. And what was that like? Would you advise other parents to do that with their children? Like, is that...
Yes, they're great. they do require you to come back after a certain time, which is okay. But if they give you a homework, achieve that homework every day.
Yeah, yeah.
To be honest, we didn't exactly do that because we didn't exactly have the time with everything what me and my brother were doing.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you have a moment spare, do it.
Yeah.
No complain, no matter how many times the child said, we did it 10 times.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yep.
It will be better for them. It will be better for everyone.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that they would give you exercises to do when you went home in that 6 months before you would see them again. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Living in, because we live in rural Tamworth, we live outside a metropolitan area. Do you feel that there is enough support and help for your family? Do you feel no?
Like my support, no, but having to see someone on a weekly basis, no. There is no support for that.
No support.
Because for me and Mum, for her to try and get someone in would be a lot. Because, like you said, we're in a regional area.
Yep.
It's a lot harder for us to get people. And at one point, the doctor actually offered Mum to head down to Melbourne with me to see someone on a weekly basis.
Yeah, which is just not reasonable, is it? Like, it's just not fathomable. Do you also, like with like rural community, the support's not there, but do you also feel that there is enough education? Do you feel like there is enough education in schools and in our media, even our social media, on helping people understand other people with speech impediments, or giving people that have speech impediments support? Do you feel that there's enough education and support?
Well, in social media, I'm not too sure because I'm not just always on the internet.
Yep.
But school-wise, I can say, like, probably for some people, English was one of the hardest things. And at one point, I went up to the teacher and told him what was happening. I felt that I still didn't get enough support.
Yep.
Like, he didn't come up to me and make sure I was okay in some ways.
Yes, yeah.
So in school, for English teacher, if you have like a student with that, check them.
Yeah.
If it look like they're struggling, check them. If it look like they don't, check them.
Yeah.
Because you never know when they're not understanding. Like, they might understand it, but totally in a different way.
Yeah. Yep.
Like in English, what I mean is you have to read a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
But for me, when I read, it doesn't translate to my head or what the word means until someone else says it to me. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes more sense of what that part is saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And do you feel that has to do with your speech, the cognitive skills with that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also feel that there wouldn't be enough understanding about that either in schools. And you would probably learn more auditory because, you know, other senses are heightened. So auditory would probably be a lot stronger, and it would have been a lot better for you than sitting there struggling in silence saying, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Yeah. What about, do you have any advice for some parents that have children, maybe little children that are having speech difficulties? Do you have any advice for parents?
Talk with them every day. Ask them how their day been. Talk a bit about yourself as well, just so you do have a better bond with them and they can hear the word that you're saying as well. Like for me, I picture the word in my head before I say it. So if they picture the word that you're saying, they can imagine how it's going to sound like.
Yep.
When it comes out of their voice as well.
Yeah.
So, and talk about other things as well, like, okay, what are we going to do in training today? Like whatever training you guys go to.
Yep. Yeah. So that communication with your kids is really important. Yeah. And the support, like you said, you wouldn't have got through what you have without the support of your mum and that as well. Yeah. No, that was great, Tabitha. Thank you so much for joining me on the couch. And I really hope that this has helped you. If you're suffering from, you're feeling a bit isolated because you do have a speech impediment, reach out. My channel is The Unedited Couch. Make sure you like and subscribe. Also have a Facebook page called The Unedited Couch. Pop on. You can message me. We can contact Tabitha as well. She would absolutely love to help you, give you any advice at all. And mums and dads out there, support your kids. That's great advice. All right. Well, thank you so much for jumping on, and we'll see you next time. Bye.